Welcome to Aqua Talks, where marketing meets bold, game-changing ideas. Join your hosts, Larry Aldrich and Maddie Dudley, as they explore the art and science of cutting through the noise, capturing attention, and fostering meaningful connections with your audience. Whether you're a destination marketer, government contractor, or simply passionate about the transformative power of marketing, Aqua Talks offers engaging discussions, fresh insights, and actionable strategies designed to inspire and inform.
Hi, and welcome back to Aqua Talks. We're the podcast that helps marketers that are just starting out, or if you've been in the marketing industry for a while and just curious about trends and things going on within the industry, we're your people. I'm Maddie. I am the PR director of Aqua Marketing Communications, and I am joined by my co-host, Larry Aldrich.
Hi, I'm Larry Aldrich, President, CEO of BrennSys and Aqua Marketing and Communications. Today, we're going to talk about social media and marketing at Aqua. Our guest is Lexi Floyd-Nye. Lexi Floyd-Nye is our director of social media, and she had 13 years as a social media strategist, working in nonprofit, working in the corporate sector, working with federal government and the small businesses. Thank you for helping me out there. So let's just dive right in, Lexi. We've been talking about trends in marketing. So I know that there's a trend that we were talking about earlier, and was it travel pets?
Traveling with pets.
Traveling with
Yes.
pets. I should know all about that, but we're not going to go into that. It's not about me today. So Lexi, that's a trend that you seem to be pretty fond of. Let's hear a little bit about it.
Yeah, first and foremost, thanks so much for having me. I love chatting with both of you, always. So I think you're referring to traveling with pets trend. So something that's really hot right now, especially in the world of social media, is bringing your pets along, right? So adventuring, whether you're flying or driving. And it's something that Maddie and I actually working closely together at Aqua, something we've chatted about as well for our clients, is taking your pets with you, right? So whether you're going to, fly to Hawaii or go somewhere, people want to bring their pets along for the ride. And what we're seeing really on social is that a lot of these experiences are catered towards pets. So there are pet spas, there are pet massages, there are very elite experiences that you can do with your pet, which I think years ago would have been seen as something a little ironic, right? Like, why would I travel with my pet? Excuse me, as we know in St. Pete, it's a very pet-friendly city, and a lot of our clients' destinations we work with as well, very pet-friendly. So yeah, it's a hot trend right now. It's something that people want to do. There's a big take on it. I actually thought of you when I was reading about it because I thought Aries might want to go along on an adventure with you.
Larry has a black lab that we all absolutely adore.
Aries is different. He's a pet that that I hide from and can't. Sometimes I just, throw treats down into the basement and run and hide upstairs, and he finds me. I don't even know how it's done, but he loves to travel. He loves to get in the car and just go.
Yeah.
Throw him in the back of the 4Runner. He's watching out the back. He's letting me know he's my co-pilot from the back. So we love to travel. We've been doing it for some time now. He's traveled cross country. It's very easy to travel with. We don't have to stop for breaks too much. But when we are stopping for breaks, he's out there for a while because he wants to sniff every blade of grass.
Of course.
He doesn't want to miss,
dog fashion, absolutely.
doesn't want to miss a blade of grass.
Does he like to play fetch at all?
He carries his balls around with him everywhere we go.
How many can he fit in his mouth?
Two big ones, actually. A tennis ball, and I got him a really, almost the size of a soccer ball. And as long as it squeaks.
That's impressive.
He tries to carry it. And the thing about Aries, when it comes to traveling with pets, you have to stop and acknowledge him.
Of course.
Yeah.
Every single person we come across has to acknowledge the king, the god of war. That's why I named him.
King. Yeah.
He's the god. He's the god of war. I named him after the god Aries, the god of war, because I know we're going to have lots of battles.
Yeah.
And I'm losing.
Elevating pet travel. I love it.
Yeah.
And I'm losing.
It sounds like Aries is maybe not cut out for the doggy massage or the doggy spa, but one of the trends I did see at a hotel was that they were doing a stick library. So that's why I asked about Fetch. They had this whole library of all these different sticks that the hotel staff would go out and collect and then bring it back. So it's all about like elevating those amenities. And I just love the companies and brands that are just thinking, how can we really take hospitality to a new level, and how can we make our hotels sort of just feel like home or a better home?
When it comes to dogs, let's just say I can speak on labs, trees. Have trees and you're set. You're good. So when you pay Fetch and you have your little sticks, just remember, if when you get a lab, I know you mentioned that, you're going to throw a stick out and it's going to come back with a branch. So keep that in mind.
Yeah.
No, that's good.
And
to keep
also
in mind.
too, circling back I know Maddie and I have also chatted about in working with influencers is the idea of really promoting that, right? Is maybe having influencers come into destination for our clients and experience all the pet amenities we have to offer. I know quite a few of our clients actually do offer a lot of pet-friendly accommodations, things to do, places to see, and just overall things to experience for pet lovers. So that's a big thing too, is, collaborating and tying that into influencer travel as well.
I actually made an Instagram account for my dog. She hasn't really taken off yet, and she's 17, so I don't think will take off anytime soon. But there are people, like Lexi was saying, who run an Instagram account on behalf of their dogs. And I was like, we were thinking, we need to bring in a dog fluencer to one of our destinations and have them come and experience all of the amenities and just have them show exactly how dog friendly the destination is. Yeah.
Speaking of Instagram, myself, just like everyone else out there, we are all in social media and we think we know about social. I thought I knew social media until I met Lexi. And I call Lexi, I text Lexi now, and she is a social media expert, and we're going to dive right into that. Some questions. I want to pick her brain in front of everyone else, so you can get a little bit of the guidance and tutelage that I've been given.
Great. Let's go. This is my favorite topic, so I'm excited to chat about it.
Yeah. So first and foremost, I'm curious about some misconceptions that people have about social media. Like Larry just touched on some of his, but I'd love to know what you're seeing from brands and businesses when it comes to social media strategy.
Yeah, that's a great question. So I have a couple. I would say first and foremost, one of the biggest misconceptions is that all brands need to be on all platforms. That's a huge one, right? And why I think that's such a big misconception is just not every platform is for every audience, right? And not every platform offers the same elements as the other, right? So, for example, if your audience is primarily Gen Z, right, then you definitely want to jump on the TikTok bandwagon because that's where you're going to find your people. If you're looking for more B2B, right, you want to connect with businesses, LinkedIn is where you want to be. But it's not just about the audience, it's also about what kind of content are you sharing with your audience, right? So if you guys were chatting about art earlier, right? If it's something very visually appealing, Instagram would be a really great platform for you because that's where you're going to draw in a lot of people who are looking for visually inspiring elements. And if you're looking for maybe shorter conversations, right? Just short to the point, factual, then X might be the platform for you. So I think it's important to always remember when you're utilizing social media that it's not, back to, again, a previous conversation, it's not a one size fits all. Excuse me, every platform is tailored specifically for specific audiences, and it is there to deliver a very specific kind of content. And how you deliver that message, what message you're delivering is a key component of that. So that's a big thing that I really want to stress in this segment especially. The second is talking about trends, right? We're all talking about trends and they're relevant to a certain point. But you also come across trends that while they might be fun and inspiring and engaging to you, they might not resonate with your audience or it might not make sense. I worked with a client a couple years ago who really wanted to do this trend. The audience was a demographic of, I would say, 45 plus. And I didn't think this trend was going to fit well with them. I said, I don't think this audience is going to engage with this the way that you think that they will. And they're like, let's just try it. Please, please. I love it. Great. So we did the trend. We hopped on the trend. We did it. And I remember one of the first comments was from a girl who said, with a laughing emoji, "I see what you're doing here, but I don't think this group gets it." And to that point, right? And to that point is trends are great when they fit your brand, when they're applicable to your audience, and when it's something you know that's going to resonate with your audience. So those are my two biggest takeaways are don't be on every platform just because, right? It's better to find the platforms where they're a great fit for your brand and for your audience, but also where you're not going to have wasted efforts. Don't put all this effort into platforms just to have a presence on there if you're really not going to strategize and use them optimally the best way that you can.
You have a lot of businesses out there, organizations, small businesses that, and myself, probably a lot of people, if we post, just throw something on social media once or twice, that's it. That's enough. That's all we have to do. Someone's going to look at it.
Yeah.
Why is that not?
Oh, Larry knows this is one of my trigger points. This is one of the things that we say in social media world make me cringe, right? It's posting and ghosting is what it's called. So one of the primary purposes of social media, if done effectively and strategically, is to build a community. And how you build that community is how you engage with them. So it's acknowledging comments, it's acknowledging shares, it's messaging people directly, right? And making it a personalized experience. You can't do that when you're posting and you're disappearing, right? You're not building a sense of trust. You're not being authentic. And you're not someone that your audience can depend on or rely on, right? So you can post. A lot of businesses do it. And that's why it's a lot of failed strategies on social media. I know for the longest time, social media has sort of been seen in the world of marketing as like the redheaded stepchild, right? So it tends to be an afterthought in the world of marketing, right? Instead of people taking social media for the powerful vessel that it is and integrating it into their overall marketing plan, I see a lot of businesses and brands that are out there and just let's throw something out there and see what works. Let's just try this. And while there's a time and a place for that, right? Because we always want to try new things. We always want to, elevate our social media experience. It's really important to stick to the things that are tried and true, the things that really work. And what that comes down to is the number one always comes back to community management. It always comes back to the relationship that your brand has with your audience, right? How are you making them feel? Well, what is the first thing that comes to their mind when they see your brand, when they hear your brand? Those are things that I think are key. And I think that's why the thought of posting and ghosting is so, as a social media professional, triggering for me, because I know it's such a missed opportunity that if done properly could really elevate brands and take them to the next level.
So along with that, I'm really curious, since you've been in the industry and doing social professionally for about 13 years, I'm curious about how your strategy of social media has evolved over time, as well as like social itself.
Yeah. So I think the one thing that we can all agree on, whether you're a seasoned social media professional, if you're someone that's new and you're dabbling in social media, is that it is always changing. It is constantly changing, right? We've seen that within this last month specifically, right, through Meta and through X and now through the evolution of Blue Sky. The biggest strategy for me is you always have to be on top of what's coming. What is coming next? What's happening? You have to look forward, right? And this is why trends are so important too, because it's always looking ahead to see what is projected to take off, right? Is this something that we think is worth jumping into and being a part of based off of what we know of social media so far? So my strategy's really evolved in that I've taken what I've known, right? And I'm from the era of, I'm a true millennial, right? So started off in the world of MySpace, transitioned to Facebook, and I've seen it kind of evolved from there. And the strategy is always being open to what the next thing is, right? And then also realizing that while there might be something new and exciting like Blue Sky, again, circling back to it might be a great opportunity for our brands, it might be a great fit for our clients, but it might not. So the whole strategy is, for me, seeing what's worked in the past and works, right? So staying true to the things that we know work, not being afraid to take risks, right? And then finding kind of that happy medium of if I feel confident X, Y, and Z happened, right? And we had success with this, let's do that. But maybe let's ramp it up a little bit. Let's change it a little bit and see what happens.
And I'm a Gen Xer. So we jumped on our bike, rode across town, stopped at our friend's house, asked them what time baseball practice was later, then rode back home.
Yep. Yeah. I did play outside as a kid, I will say that. I didn't have social media as a kid.
Not too much, just a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Playing
I think we got
football
the
in the
best
middle
of
of the
both
street.
worlds, right?
We did.
Like
We did.
the internet and
Yeah.
not having it growing up.
Yeah. And now it's just everywhere. You can't escape it. I mean, truly, social media is everything. It's what connects us, right? It educates, inspires, informs us. What we're seeing, what we're hearing, what we're consuming a lot of times comes from the digital world, which at the end of the day boils down to social media.
It's true. It's become such a big part of PR also. 'Cause
Absolutely.
people are getting their news on all these different social platforms.
Yeah.
Like, unfortunately, I'm one of those people.
How does PR and social media interact, relate, work together?
Oh, I can say from a social media side specifically is, recent data has shown us that, the days of searching for things in Google and Yahoo and Bing, I mean, those are no more, right? Gen Z has shown us recently that, everyone's going to social media to search for things. Back to travel and tourism, when you're looking to go on a vacation or a weekend getaway or taking your pet somewhere, you're going to TikTok, you're going to Instagram, you're going to these places to find what draws you in, right? What do you want to see? What do you want to feel when you go somewhere? What's enticing you to get to these destinations? So I would say that's a huge tie-in for social and PR is, social media is now a search engine, and it is a tool that inspires people and motivates people to want to do things, to want to be a part of things, right? It's sort of like the idea of FOMO, right? People don't want to miss out. If there's this amazing, bungee jump experience, or you can go swim with manatees or whatever that might be, people want to be a part of that. And I think that ties into, PR as well, right? The influencers, for example, right?
Yeah, I'm such a big visual person too that, like Lexi said, when going on vacation, I love looking at social and seeing inspiration for my itinerary because social media is the best storytelling platform.
Absolutely.
You can sit down and read a newspaper and it has beautiful photos in it. But if you do a reel or you do a TikTok video, then you're able to actually tell it through video, which is, in my opinion, some of the best forms of storytelling.
Absolutely.
If I'm a DMO or a restaurant, how often do I want to be, weekly, do I want to be on social media?
So again, this is a very specific question that, again, is tailored to a particular client, right? What are your goals? What are your needs? What are you trying to achieve? Sometimes more isn't always better, but the answer to that would be consistency. So my rule of thumb is typically for the platforms that we use the most often, Facebook, Instagram, are 3 times a week, right? But that is being consistent. So there is no solid number. The key is to consistently be there for your audience and to show up when they expect you to show up, because that is what's rooted in the ground of trust, right? Believing in your brand and buying into your brand and what you're trying to sell them, right? So there is no rule of thumb. It's more of just being consistent on whatever platform you choose and showing up for your audience on a regular basis.
That's a lot of good information to try to remember. Or you could do what I do. Call Lexi.
Okay, so goals with social media, what metrics do you look to when either you're doing a fam influencer trip or you're posting? What metrics are showing that you're doing a good job?
Yeah, it's a great question. So again, measurements are always dependent on whatever the goal is, right? So the first question is always, what is our goal? What are we trying to accomplish? That's going to translate into what metrics we're looking at, right? I know a lot of people say followers, for example, can be a vanity metric, that it's not something people should look for. But if you're really looking for brand awareness, you're trying to get your name out there to as many people as possible, followers is a great metric to look at. If you're trying to reach the most people, right, with maybe a really important message or a special offer, reach and impressions is something you want to look at. And then it all, once again, always boils down to engagement. Engagement should always be a key piece that you're looking for, whether it's working with an influencer or working just directly in the world of organic social media. you want to see what the engagement is. And I want to tie into, I also saw this new trend, which I don't really think it's new. I think it's just been labeled something finally, is lurkers in 2025. And lurkers have, I think, always been a part of social media. So these are the people that don't necessarily like or comment or save or share something, but they keep coming back to your content. And so a metric that, is expected to really pick up in 2025 is lurkers on videos and reels and shorts, and seeing how long these people are watching your content and consuming your content, which I think is really interesting.
Yeah.
So again, it depends. It always boils down to every client is specific. Every metric is specific to whatever campaign or whatever goal you're trying to accomplish. And like Dave DiMaggio always says, it's always working backwards, right? So it's seeing what the end goal is and then working back from there and deciding what's important. The same metrics don't always apply across the board to every campaign. So it's very client and campaign specific.
Thank you for sharing your experience. Thank you for sitting with us today. Taking time away from your busy job to sit with us and have a conversation. If you want to learn more about Lexi and what she does in her experience, go to aquatalks.com. She'll have her links, her bio. You can reach out to Lexi. You can schedule a consultation with Lexi, aquatalks.com. Follow our podcast, like us, review us. Thanks for joining this episode.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lexi.
You've been listening to Aqua Talks, where marketing innovation takes center stage with bold ideas and actionable insights. Ready to take your strategies to the next level? Visit aquatalks.com to book your free consultation and explore resources that empower you to thrive in today's fast-paced marketing world. Until next time, stay bold, stay inspired, stay imaginative.